Hey, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make your very own portable SSD hard drive, which will be much faster and cheaper than any other brand name SSD on the market right now. And by brand name, I mean items such as the SanDisk SSD as well as Samsung SSD. They make various amounts of hard drives, meaning with various sizes and what's not. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to do it using a NVMe hard drive as well as a enclosure. Now the NVMe, I'm sorry about that, the NVMe SSD that I'll be using today is from Western Digital. It's a WD Black SN770. This here guarantee you speeds up to 5150 megabytes per second, but I'm going to be using Thunderbolt 4, which I should, based on other YouTubers and other research that I did, I should be getting speeds up to about 2800 megabits or megabytes per second. And the enclosure that I'm going to be using is a cases enclosure. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. This here works with Thunderbolt 4, as I mentioned earlier, so you should be getting a lot of speed, but it's also backward compatible all the way down to USB-C. So there's a various amount of different types of enclosures that you could use, but based on my research, I prefer this one. So with that being said, I'm going to open these boxes and show you exactly how to connect everything. So first of all, opening the SSD. Again, this is 2 terabytes. I don't think I need more than 2, but I wanted 2 mainly because my MacBook Pro is only 1 terabyte. So you having an additional 2 terabyte would be more than enough space for what I do on my laptop. And the beauty about this setup is it is compatible, or it will be compatible with both Microsoft as well as Apple operating systems, all depending on how you format the hard drive when you install it. So this is giving me a little problems. I'm terrible at unboxing. I just like to rip everything apart, but the enclosure comes with a Thunderbolt 4 cable already. It comes with some thermal pads, screw, as well as the enclosure itself. Now I think this enclosure is toolless, meaning to get inside does not require any screwdrivers. But right here, there's an arrow pointing up, which I suspect is to lift or pull. So again, this is the toolless version. So to install everything, you need to, first of all, get everything out. As I mentioned earlier, this here is the screw. I'm terrible with those things, so I'm just gonna rip it open. Rawr, that's the animal in me, right? Oh my gosh. So comes with 2 screws and the heat pads. So I am just going to take this bad boy out if I can. Oh, there's a extra protection layer. So move that top one, and then try not to hold when you're holding the SSD, try not to hold too much of the soldering part. You always hold it by the sides. At least that's what I do. But to install, you just have to make sure that the pins match up. And don't worry, just slip it in. You don't have to worry about breaking it. It only goes in one way. And once you get it in all the way, you just press down. And wow, these screws are cheap. You don't even need a screwdriver for this. This is very, very cheaply made. Come on, this is a cases. you could do better than that. What this is just to push in. Yeah, essentially just push it in, push it down. And the last thing you want to do is put on these thermal pads. Now, based on the research I did, I'm not too sold on these thermal pads, but what I did was I ordered a different type of thermal pad, which should be coming any day now. I'll leave a link in the description below to show you exactly everything I use, including the thermal pads. So once I get those thermal pads, I will change these out, especially if this is not working the way how I would like it to work. Okay, so you just peel the plastic off of the thermal pad, and there's any way up or any way down. So you just spread it across the device like that, and I'm gonna put both on at the same time, one on top of each other, because again with this case I'm not sure if the top part will make contact with the device. So just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna put the thermal paste or the thermal pads on top of each other, just like that. And that's basically all. Once you put the cover back on, if I can get it back on. Yep, just like that, you're finished. So once that is installed, I'm not gonna show you this next part, but essentially the next part is just to plug the supplied cord in and format it to the operating system or operating software that you wanna utilize this hard drive on. For me, for this device, I'm not gonna use the FAT32. I'm actually gonna use it strictly on my MacBook Pro, so it would be formatted strictly to use with that laptop. I have another hard drive which I'm gonna be using between Windows and Mac OS, so that's okay. Okay, so I think that's the end of today's video. If you like it, please hit that like button and subscribe to this channel if you haven't. So until next time, peace.